and that they have to keep the Sabbath and the feasts of Yahweh, and that the Father's true name is not God, but it's Yahweh. It's like, huh? What kind of a cult is this? Why? Because both houses, the one given to be the place of refuge, has become a stumbling block to both houses. But he is the place of refuge for both houses. Yeshayahu 25:4, Isaiah 25:4. Speaking about Yahweh, Isaiah says this. Yeshayahu 25:4. For you have been a strength to the poor, strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat. When the ruach of the ruthless is as a storm against the wall. How many know what I'm talking? When the ruach of the ruthless, and boy, when you serve Yahweh, I mean all of Yahweh, all of Torah, all of Yahweh, like some of you folks are learning how to do.
That's right.
You will meet the ruthlessness. Oh, yeah. Not just the opposition. You will run into the ruthlessness of the adversary. And when the ruthlessness, it's a ruach, notice, it's a spirit. Jerry's not the problem with Rabbi Moshe. Those who hate and murder in their heart against born-again brothers and sisters who disagree with plural marriage. Big deal. Can we agree to disagree?
Yes, we can.
What does that have to do with salvation and the kingdom? What does it have to do? It's an alternate lifestyle. It's not something to destroy and because there's an underlying jealousy, or there's under forgiveness or hatred from way back, and so now you're into something or you're believing something that they don't believe, and so now the enemy, it wasn't Jerry, it was the spirit of ruthlessness. These people that are attacking you and that are hurting you because they're hurting your leader, so we all experience these things together. It's a spirit. It's a spirit of ruthlessness, but we're going to move on because that was the word of Yahweh last week. We got to move on from this stuff. But the way to move on is to know where our shelter is and to know where our refuge is. That's how we move on. We don't move on by pretending it doesn't hurt. We move on by saying, Yahweh, I want to hide myself in you. I want to hide myself. I want all 6 levels of refuge protection. Check this out. When the ruach of the ruthless is like a storm against the wall. What kind of metaphor is that? Because when there's a storm against the wall, what happens? You're cornered, right? When there's no wall, it's an open storm. But when there's a wall and you're against the wall, you're cornered, your back's against the wall, and the hail is just bombarding you from all sides, and there's nowhere to run because your back is against the wall, because you're under an attack from a ruach. It's not a Spanish person, a black person. No, we wrestle against flesh and blood, against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness. Ephesians 6:12, in high places, in high places.
High places, yes.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds.
Come on now.
2 Corinthians 10:4 and 5. Yes. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Prayer, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the shoes of peace, not of shedding blood, and the shoes of peace. When the ruach of ruthlessness comes in and puts your back against the wall, you take the shoes of peace and not of bloodshedding, of recluse and lashon hara, and you take those shoes of peace and you run into the high tower, into the mighty fortress, which is our Eloha, and there the enemy cannot touch you. And Deuteronomy 33:7 says, the Son of Yahweh sees that you're hiding in the high tower of his protection where the enemy cannot even find you. He turns to his malachim and says, now destroy his enemies.
Hey! Hallelujah!
I'm on fire right now.
All right now.
Like no apologies for it. Wesley said, they may hate a preacher's guts, it doesn't matter. But if there's a preacher on fire, people will come just to watch them burn. Burn, baby, burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
Yahweh, look at this. When the ruach of the ruthless is a storm against the wall, Yahweh will what? Be our refuge from the storm. Look at Isaiah 25:4. Yes, the ruach of the ruthless will come against us, especially in these latter days. But when the ruach of the ruthless comes against us, Yahweh will be our refuge from the storm. Somebody. 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 Somebody,
Yeah.
anybody at this point. Can I hear a good old man?
Amen.
Don't look at me that way because I'm not even close to closing. So just enjoy your Bible.
All right now.
Yirmiyahu 16:9. 19. Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah 16:19. I love this. Yirmiyahu 16:19. Oh Yahweh, my strength and my stronghold, Jeremiah says. Same thing David said, same thing Isaiah said. They all look to Yahweh as their what? Refuge. Oh Yahweh, my strength and my stronghold, my refuge in the yom of tribulation, in the day of my tribulation, his personal tribulation and our end time, even the coming great tribulation. The Gentiles will come to you from the ends of the earth, and they will proclaim, surely our fathers, our Ahavot, have inherited only lies and vanity, things in which there is no profit. Notice, in the last days, are we in the last days? Yes, we are in the last of the last days. Listen, today's quiz. When did the last days begin? On Shavuot, in 33 CE, when Peter stood up and says, this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel in the last days. So we've been in the last days for how many years? 2,000 years. We've been in the last days for 2,000 years, and if the last days started 2,000 years ago, today we are in the what? Last of the last days. And yeah, that's right. And Yahweh says, look, in the day of the great tribulation, which is right around the corner, at the end of time, which is where we almost are right now, the Gentiles, or the nations, the non-Israelite nations, will come to you from the ends of the earth, saying, our fathers, our pagan fathers, have inherited lies, vanity, only lies, not just some truth, all lies, things that there is no profit. And that's why we have non-Jewish people coming to us today, every week, every month, every year, and saying, we are 10 men from all languages, from all Gentile nations, grabbing hold of the tzitzit of him that is called a Jew and saying, we will go with you because we have heard that Yahweh is with you. Teach us his Torah. Teach us who we are as citizens of the Commonwealth of Israel. I'm tired of being a Baptist. I'm tired of being a Methodist. I'm tired of being I don't want a little nation. I want the nation that Yahweh put me in.
Amen.
And Ephesians chapter 2 says you were foreigners and aliens and strangers from the covenants, but now you are heirs and fellow citizens of the Commonwealth of Israel. Welcome home.
Amen.
Welcome
Glad to
home.
be here.
That's who you are. You're equal with the Jewish people as citizens of Israel. Not better than the Jews, not worse than the Jews, equal with the Jewish people. Welcome home. We've been waiting for you.
Amen. Welcome home.
Tada Rabba,
Amen.
Abba, Yahweh. But Jeremiah saw Yahweh as his refuge. Isaiah saw Yahweh as his refuge. Melech David saw Yahweh as his refuge. When the proverbial, you know what, hits the fan, it's not going to be Mary who's going to be answering your prayers. It's not going to be Hare Krishna. All right? It's not going to be Buddha with the gas problem. It's not even going to be a new psychiatrist that you're hoping in. Oh, I have new hope. I have a new counselor. No. Job had more than one counselor, and look what happened to him.
Exactly.
He had many counselors.
Exactly.
And so when the day of tribulation comes to you, brothers and sisters, you're going to find that only Yahweh is your help and your present help in time of need. Go to Tehillim 10:9. Tehillim, Psalm 10, verse 9. We'll go quickly now. Let's encourage ourselves in Yahweh. Tehillim 10:9. Again, Chris, this message, our only refuge. What's the name of the message, Brother Chris? Our only refuge. Tehillim 10:9. Yahweh also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Tehillim 46 verse 1. Tehillim Psalm 46 verse 1. Elohim is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Oh, I love that. Yahweh is never early. Yahweh is never late. He is always a present help. I'll say that again. Yahweh is never early. Yahweh is never late. He He is a present help in time of trouble.
Amen.
Because he is our refuge.
Amen.
But remember this condition. Just because you have a King James Bible, glory to the God. Glory to the God. Gloria a Dios.
Uh-oh.
Honey, if you could have the biggest red print King Jimmy Bible that was ever published by Geneva Press. Let me help you. If you walk up and down and you've got a problem with murder and hate and unforgiveness and bitterness in your heart, and you are committing recluse in violation of Leviticus 19, the city of refuge, the great King and Master Yahushua is out to lunch. You will not find refuge in the day of your trouble unless you want to be merciful. Because blessed are those who are merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the peacemakers, for theirs is the kingdom of Yahweh. Blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh.
Amen.
This is a very great promise, but a very great conditional promise. Don't be fooled. Yahweh, our refuge, is not going to be a refuge for some people who don't want to forsake their wicked ways. Tehillim 46 verse 1. I'm sorry, we just did that. Elohim is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Verse 7, staying in Psalm 46, Tehillim 46, Psalm 26. Verse 7. Yahweh Sivaot, meaning Yahweh of hosts, the angelic host. Yahweh Sivaot is with us. The Elohim of Yaakov is our refuge. Selah. We see this repeated in verse 11. Why in Psalm 46 do we see the very same words repeated in verse 7 and then again in verse 11? Anybody want to venture a guess? That's right. For both redeemed, returning houses of Israel. Yahweh has the exact same words in Psalm 46, verse 7, Psalm 46, verse 11. Yahweh Shivaot is with us. The Elohim of Yaakov is our refuge. Selah. The same words of twice in the same psalm, once for the house of Yehuda, Bet Yehuda, and once for Bet what? Ephraim. Very good. Tehillim 57 verse 1. Tehillim 57 verse 1. Psalm 57 verse 1. Be full of rachamim, mercy to me, O Elohim. Be full of rachamim to me, for my being trusts in you, yes, in the shadow of your wings. Will I make my refuge until these calamities have passed, and passed they will. I'll read that again. Yes, you, Yahweh, in the shadow, not just you, but in the shadow of your wings, I will make my refuge until these calamities have passed. Does Yahweh have wings? No. Wings is a metaphor for his ruach, or his ability to travel and to hide you in places where your enemy cannot access you. Yahweh doesn't literally have wings. Rather, the wings are a metaphor, or a metaphor for his ruach. His ruach will give you the refuge and bring you to the city, which is the literal person of the resurrected Yeshua, until the calamities have passed. And no matter what you're going through today, this week, the calamities will pass. That's right. Why? Because he's our refuge. Is he everybody's refuge? How about those who are called a brother or called a sister and keep walking in recluse and keep